It's already Thursday morning. I'm already in a bad mood. Right off the bat, my earphone has got static in my left ear. Makes me miserable.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I don't know if you're like I am, but here, this is a funny idiosyncrasy. I think that's what they call that. I have.
An idiosyncrasy.
Syncrasy.
It's not easy to say, is it?
Here is one that I have. When I work at my desk at night, I've got to make it clean, off, and organized before I start any work. When I start working in a big pile of work, I have to have it all in a pile, and then I'll start, okay, here I go, I attack the pile. I have to have one of these pins. I'll show it on the video. I have to have a precise V7 rolling ball medium point pilot pin, or else I don't feel like writing. So when you do a radio show, it's so funny that if there's one thing out of sorts, it makes you nuts. It's hilarious, but it's the reality. I hope everybody had a safe and happy Halloween. I did. I did not get struck by a car going trick-or-treating. And my granddaughter, Riley, apparently went to 10 houses. She enjoyed the 10 houses. And the houses were, she said apparently thank you to every single house that she went to. Every house she went to, it was thank you for the candy. And then when I went to her house, I gave her a whole bag of Lifesaver gummies. And I made her Halloween. That was her best trick-or-treat was what Pop brought her.
Yeah. Did you? And so you went around with her?
No.
No?
I didn't go around with her at all. Didn't go around with her.
And she was dressed as a cow?
No, she was dressed as a turkey for this event.
A turkey. You were talking about that yesterday and how good that was.
And then after Halloween, we went to Cameron, my stepson's hockey game, and over at the Northern Kentucky Ice Center rink. And the only individuals that were there as fans was some woman, my wife, me, Charlie Ann, Chad, Riley, and Reagan, and Gabby. Gabby showed up. So anyway, Cameron, there's like 20 guys out there playing. Cameron was the only one with a cheering section.
So you guys were cheering her on?
Yeah, but him, because of him. Cameron's not a her, it's a him.
It's a him.
But it was cold. So there I was, getting over a cold at an ice hockey rink that was cold. But anyway.
You weren't wearing your hat?
Guess who wasn't there? Jake. Where were you, Jake?
I was out with the family.
Schlegel was out with the family, he claims.
Well, you got to do that every now and then.
What kind of a teammate doesn't show up to play the game?
Oh, it's his game.
Yeah, he's on the team, and he wasn't even there.
Jake.
Yeah, they got smoked. But the good thing is they don't put the score up, but I knew what the score was. My wife, God love her, she left. She goes, are they winning? I said, no. I should have lied. I said, oh, yeah, they were smoking.
Yeah.
I think they scored the first goal and didn't score again after that. I think the score was probably like 20-1. But it didn't matter. Reagan and Riley didn't care. You know this song that you've picked out here, buddy? Is the prom song for my senior Latin school dance.
Really?
Really?
Well, a perfect song.
And I didn't like it then. I didn't like it now.
I know you were going to say that.
I liked my date, Holly Dybert. But I do not like this song.
Love that name.
Don't you love the guys that are on the committees that choose all these things that I don't know about you, but I'm a leader now. I am. I'm a leader now. It's kind of weird. In Latin school, I wasn't much of a leader. I really wasn't. It's kind of weird. Like I was like the kickball champion, smartest kid in my class in grade school. And then I went down to Latin school, and you have smart brains, medium brains, dumb brains. I was like a medium brain. But I thought these guys were nerds, man. Like the smartest kids. I was like, I ain't hanging out with them guys.
Right.
So I wasn't like much of a leader in high school. Now, then I became one again in college, and I am now. But I always hated the guys that like, who the hell are these guys that get together and choose the freaking song for the senior prom? You know what I'm saying? Who are these dorks? And how'd they choose that song?
Right.
Did you ever wonder about that?
Especially like
I'll bet you weren't on those committees either.
No,
you know who was on
absolutely
those committees?
Denise.
I was.
yeah.
No, I wasn't.
You didn't. You weren't on the committee
No.
at Highlands to choose your prom songs.
Nope. Would you believe
You
it
weren't
now?
like the most popular girl in your class.
Back then, I didn't do any of that. I didn't cheer. I wasn't a cheerleader. Didn't play
You
sports.
were probably involved a lot.
I didn't
weren't
have
you?
health insurance when I was younger, so no, actually, I wasn't really. Believe it or not.
Do you think it's going to show up on the video of me throwing down yet another set of?
No,
That's a
don't throw
brand
those.
new
Those are
set.
jakes. Don't throw them. It should be
I
working.
paid for them.
I know, but that's a brand new set.
Those
I don't
are jakes.
care.
You know what it is? I think. Are you good now?
It's better, but it's not perfect.
It's
Okay,
that-
because you're
it's that-
into my adapter over here.
Do you have a traffic report?
Well, I can pull it up here.
glad you're
we've
adapter.
been trying to get you adjusted over there. Okay, there is an accident on Anderson Ferry right at River Road, so watch for that. But other than that,
Don't make fun of people from Anderson.
okay, I don't know how funny that one was, but we'll give it to you. So you're gonna let him play this song for you? You
Yes.
were complaining before. I was just
When the
wondering.
time's right.
It's still.
But we don't have time. It's not time for a song.
Well, I'm not talking about that. You were complaining. I was just wondering if you weren't going to let him play it for you.
I have some more announcements to make. Number one, Whiskey's an official office dog. She doesn't even go home with me anymore. She's just staying in the office. And by day, she gets plenty of attention, gets food and water, and at night, she sleeps on my couch, and it's working out great. I do not have to worry about taking Whiskey to and from work.
So she's a guard dog at work.
And she ain't going to guard anything.
Independence or here?
Independence.
Oh, okay.
Independence. But I'm really happy about that because it saves me time taking her to and fro, if you know what I mean.
How many law offices have their own dog?
Not none. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I'd like to just, if you could join in me. Yesterday was a very sad day, not because of Hurricane Sandy, not because of all those that might have parted this earth. But yesterday, we saw very publicly a breakup between two individuals that I never thought that we would see break up. Mitt Romney and Chris Christie have broken up. It looks like Christie is going to rebound with Barack Obama. The rumor is Barack won over Christie with $100 million of relief money and a personal concert with Bruce Springsteen at Bruce's house. Mitt Romney tried to win Christie back with an elevator in his garage, and it didn't work. Romney's going to just move on, realizing he doesn't need New Jersey anyway. And besides that, Christie's passing gas was becoming annoying. So we saw that all on national television last night, or yesterday.
It's a horrible breakup.
It was a horrible breakup.
It's a mess.
And you knew it was completely over when Chris Christie hugged Barack Obama.
Yeah, I saw pictures of that. This is
Oh, my God. I wonder how many yard signs are still in yards throughout Northeast and Midwest due to Hurricane Sandy and that wind.
It's a good point. A lot of
I
people's
used to
work.
put those damn things up, and when people would knock them down or the wind would blow them down, I'd get so mad. Now I don't care. And how about this big event coming Friday? You hear about this event in Westchester? Here's how important Southwest Ohio is. Romney's coming. Ann Romney's coming. Paul Ryan, his wife. They're bringing Giuliani, McCain, Rubio. I mean, Condoleezza Rice. Like every freaking surrogate that they've got are all coming to be at this Westchester event.
Dang. All the big wigs.
Which starts at 7 p.m. on Friday, and I'm actually asked for some tickets. I might go.
well, good. You
If I
need
go,
to.
do you guys want to go?
What time is it? Westchester.
What
time is it?
Starts at like 4:30, and then people. I'm not
Friday night?
kidding. I'm actually thinking about going.
I've
If
been
you
up
get
there.
a-
Is it at that park? Is it at that park up there in the square?
The only thing that concerns me, I know if I go, I'm going to be asked to speak.
That's
Well, what would
true. They're
concern
gonna
you
point
about that?
out.
Don't you think that would be
Well,
fun?
I don't want to show any of them up. I mean, if I speak, it will,
They're going to see
show
the
up the
Bulldog
others.
tour bus
Oh, it's gonna
rolling
be
into
unbelievable.
town, and then
You know what? Maybe they'd want you to go with them.
Well, there's no question I could be the best speaker on the tour.
You know, they might kick out the vice president and throw you in there. Yeah, I mean, they might kick him out. You never know what'll happen.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, as we come back to begin our day of radio superbity, I have to listen to my senior prom song as selected by Garrett Sablehouse, who is going to now be his music selection duties are going to be taken away from him.
I don't know.
Hey, by the way, you had to pick this off Class X's list.
Oh,
didn't
it's
you?
a Spry song.
It's a Spry song.
It's
Yeah,
my
I
fault.
figured it's a Spry
I told
song.
him he had to pick it.
On Class X
It's
Radio.
actually Denise's
It's
favorite.
my fault.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. We're going to get in later in the show the 4 issues that are on the ballot in Hamilton County and Cincinnati, Issue 4, Issue 42, Issue 50, and Issue 51. Why? Because we care. I'm also going to save the quote of the day for a more profound moment. It is an incredible quote from John F. Kennedy. And not only is it a quote from John F. Kennedy, it ought to be the standard of which we choose a president. And, of course, we know who doesn't add up to that. In 1604, William Shakespeare's tragedy, Othello, was first presented.
Got a little clip here of that dog.
You do?
I hate the moor, and it is thought abroad that twixt my sheets he's
You know,
my office.
this actor is awesome.
I know
Branagh.
not if to be true, but
He does
I,
so much
for
Shakespeare.
mere suspicion in that kind,
Don't you wish you walked around every day speaking like Shakespeare?
do as if for surety.
What if everybody didn't understand?
Wish I had that vocabulary.
This is a huge event in 1896, and I bet you don't have any audio of this. In 1896, the first bare-breasted women appear in National
I
Geographic.
do not have audio of that.
That's what it would
Probably
sound like.
some Indian tribe from...
Them damn booties. Remember?
I bet they weren't good looking.
Remember what Tarzan said?
No.
They're called damn booties. Damn booties. DuPont introduced synthetic rubber, 1931. Sex was never, driving on the road was never the same. Puerto Rican nationalists in 1950 tried to kill Harry Truman at the Blair House. I know all about that. It was unsuccessful. 1954, the U.S. Senate admonished Joseph McCarthy. They had enough of Joe McCarthy. And he was admonished. He was the guy that thought everyone was a communist.
Have you no decency?
Yes.
Let us not assassinate this lad further.
This was a lawyer.
Look, you've done enough. Have you no sense of
Tell him all.
decency, sir? At long last, have you left no sense of decency?
I love that guy, baby. He told him off. 1969, Beatles' Abbey Road album went #1 and stayed #1 for 11 weeks.
11 whole weeks.
Let's play some of the Abbey Road album a little
Yeah.
later, maybe.
Or not. Honda became the first Asian car company to produce cars in the U.S., and that was actually in Ohio, buddy. How do you like that?
I love that.
Larry Flint,
We
the
know who he
smut
is.
magnet. The smut magnet is 70
Cincinnati's
years
own.
old. Do you got anything from
I'm not
him?
trying to convince you that you should like what Larry Flint does. I don't like what Larry Flint does.
This is a great
But what I
movie.
do like is that I live in a country where you and I can make that decision for ourselves. I like that I live in a country where I can pick up Hustler magazine and read it if I want to,
Or look at
or
the
throw it in the
pictures.
garbage can if that's where I think it belongs.
James Carville
Better
played
yet, I can
Simon
exercise
Lee,
my opinion and not buy it.
which is
I
funny.
like that I
He's a
have
liberal.
that right.
I recognize
care
this
about
guy's
it.
voice. Who is this?
And you should care about it too.
It's just that, it's
You
that
really
yelling
should.
out.
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton.
He's
Because we
great.
live in a free
Great actor.
country.
Good old Edward
We
Norton.
say that a lot, but I think sometimes we forget really what that means. So listen to it again. We live in a free country.
You're
And
darn
that's a
right, Edward
powerful
Norton.
idea. That's
Enough
a,
of that.
That's a magnificent
Love
way to
it.
live.
November is also birthday today. I know you don't have any audio of this. Why don't we put up some video for all of our watching pleasure? Jenny McCarthy is 40 years old today.
Oh, all of your watching pleasure.
Yes.
So hot.
November is also known as Aviation Month, Wiz, Child Safety and Protection Month, Good Nutrition Month, International Drum Month, National Adoption Month, National Epilepsy Month, National Model Railroad Month, and Peanut Butter Lovers Month.
I do like peanut butter.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
I was going to say,
Peanut butter and banana.
I would like my apples with peanut butter.
National Authors Day and National Family Letters Day. Happy to report there are no deaths. Thank God no deaths from Afghanistan or Iraq. Today's weather, partly cloudy, high 53, low of 35. Same Friday. And Saturday, few showers, high of 52. Jack wagons. New York City officials, they told 5 nursing homes located just blocks from the coast not to evacuate before the hurricane hit. That's not good.
You jackwagon?
Then again, maybe they didn't want those old people floating in the ocean. Joe Biden, while in Florida, claimed the Cleveland Plain Dealer is one of the largest newspapers in the state. I swear to goodness, he's got Alzheimer's. I mean, he is obviously just nuts. Let's see if we got anybody deserving of oracles. Nah, not really. None. Here's some interesting history facts. Thomas Edison, though still in possession of his original sight, he found Braille preferable to visual reading. What a goofball, but he was smart. The Corsair, in 1814, when George Byron's poem, The Corsair was published, 30,000 copies were sold in one day. You ought to go home, Garrett, and memorize that poem.
Yeah, that's what I was planning on doing.
And everyone knows this. Benjamin Franklin wanted the turkey to be the U.S. national symbol. He considered the eagle a bird of bad moral character because it lives by sharping and robbing. See, even Benjamin Franklin didn't know everything. Can you imagine us without the eagle? I can't imagine us without the eagle. Bacteria, the tiniest living cells, bacteria are so small that a single drop of liquid may contain 50 million of them. Did you know that?
Nope.
Like
I did
the
know
bacteria that this Z-Pack is kicking ass.
Is it working good for
And
you?
one liquid has 50 million of them. I'm going to be better by tomorrow.
Good.
Do you have a traffic report for us?
Well, we do. Let's take a look here as you're heading out. What time is it? 6:25, so things picking up just a little bit. Still just have that one accident on Anderson Ferry at River Road, so watch for that. Really, there's nothing else to report right now as far as accidents or problems on the roadway. No delays. I know I came in this morning at like 5:30, and there was actually a little more traffic than I had seen in a long time. I actually had to sit on the ramp from 471 to Fort Washington Way behind traffic, which was weird.
Oh, well.
For 5:30 in the morning, it was not a normal thing. So, other than that, we're good.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, today's joke is good enough for public airing. So get ready to enjoy it. As a trucker stopped for a red light, a blonde, looking like Denise, ran up to the truck and knocked on the door and said, "Hi, my name's Heather, and you're losing some of your load." The trucker ignored her and proceeded down the street. When the truck stopped at another red light, the girl caught up again, jumped out of her car, ran up and knocked on the door and said, "Hey, you're still losing some of your load." Shaking his head, the trucker ignored her again and continued down the street. At the third light, the same thing happened. The blonde, all out of breath, got out of the car, ran up, knocked on the truck door, trucker lowered the window, and again she said, "Hi, my name's Heather, and you're losing some of your load." When the light turned green, the trucker revved up and raced to the next light. When he stopped this time, he jumped out of the truck before the blonde did, ran back to the blonde's car, knocked on her window, and when she lowered it, he said, "Hi, my name is Bob. It's winter in Ohio, and I'm driving a salt truck."
That is good. And that was for me. Thank you.
Nice job.
I called her Heather.
You did that. That was an actual occurrence that happened to you, right, Denise?
Yeah, I did. I hated to admit it. Losing your load.
Our joke of the day comes from a real life experience from Denise.
Oh, can I do have one that's funny. You want to hear? This is a blonde moment. You met my daughter. Okay, a couple of you. Anyway, we were driving one day before she could drive. It's just last summer. And I kind of, how you pull on, I was turning left. I was over by the mall, and some lady pulled out in front of me, or I was motioning for her to pull out in front of me, like, come on.
How long is this story?
It just, come on. And I looked in the mirror, and she didn't go. And I said, well, forget it. And I went on. Marie said, "Mom, that's not nice." I said, "Why isn't that nice?" She goes, "That lady was blind." I said, What? What do you mean she was blind? She goes, she had those big blind lady sunglasses on, like blue blockers. And I said, honey, she was driving a car. She couldn't be blind. But because she had great big blue blocker sunglasses, Maria thought she was blind, but she was behind.
Well, what's the like mother, like daughter?
Yeah, not quite.
You mean bail you out with a good song?
Go ahead.
This is another Saturday Night by Cat Stevens on Class X Radio.
You know that story's funny.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. The following are coming Friday with Romney. Boehner, Portman, Rice, Chow, Jindal, Ridge, Rubio, Bulldog, Thune, Coleman, Priebus, Giuliani, McCain, Davis, Perry, Brownback. That's the lineup in Westchester. There's the heavyweights coming to win Southwest Ohio on Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. I did not know who Bill Dees was. I wonder if Bill Spry knows who Bill Dees was. He's the co-writer of Roy Orbison's hit, Oh Pretty Woman, passed away at the age of 73. Taylor Swift, according to Rolling Stone, her new album, Red, is the best-selling album of any week since 2002. It sold 1.2 million copies in its debut week. Her next album, Green, we'll see whether it can top that. Tracy Morgan, the comedian, was on Jimmy Kimmel, said this storm came out of nowhere. New York never had no hurricanes. This got Republicans written all over it. This has Romney written all over it.
Got a little clip of that.
What a
I'm telling
jackwagon.
you, man, this storm came out of nowhere. New York ain't never had no hurricanes. This got Republicans written all over it,
You think
man.
this is Mitt Romney?
This got Romney written all over it.
I don't know about you, but I've only liked one Tracy Morgan skit. And that's when he played the character on Saturday Night Live when he was a zookeeper.
Yes. Get that bird out of here.
You know
That
what I'm
was a
saying?
good one. Yep.
That's the only Tracy Morgan funny moment, in my
Otherwise,
opinion.
boy, he says some dumb stuff.
George Wendt, the 64-year-old Cheers actor Norm, was hospitalized Sunday night due to chest pains. He's expected to make a full recovery. Miley Cyrus, the 19-year-old, has cast a 20-year-old pornographic actress in her upcoming music video for Decisions. Wow. NPR apologized for making a 4-year-old girl cry. She is tired of Barack Obama and Mitt Romney, and NPR said, we must confess the campaign's gone on long enough for us to. Amy Weber, the ex-WWE diva, has released a previously unreleased spread she shot for Playboy. Why do they call it a spread, Garrett?
Because
She released the photos after her laptop was stolen because she didn't want the thieves to make money off her theft. That's a great excuse to pose naked. Well, they probably got him anyway. George Lucas plans to donate a sizable portion of his $4 billion sale of Lucasfilm Limited to his educational charity foundation. Kim Kardashian, her divorce proceedings have now outlasted the length of her marriage by 5 times. Yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of the date she filed for divorce from her 72-day marriage to Chris Humphries. You know what? For marrying Chris Humphries, she deserves to have a protracted divorce.
What's wrong with Chris Humphries?
Ah, come on, man. You're Kim Kardashian and you marry Chris Humphries.
Yeah, it's true. NBA stars.
Director, he's a star. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, he's good. He's not a
Direct,
star. But
director James Cameron. The reason Cameron cast Arnold Schwarzenegger as a Terminator was because he felt O.J. Simpson was too nice to play a killer. Ha, 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 ha. Let's end pop culture on that note. Denise, you got a traffic report.
I was actually just looking out there. Oh, there it goes. I was going to say, I'm glad you cut him off and he couldn't answer why he thought that was a spread before. So let's go back to traffic. As far as heading out, well, I'm not
Spit it
seeing a
out,
whole lot.
spit it out, spit it out.
I'm just looking. I was wanting to make sure that
Will
there
somebody
wasn't
get her a
anything.
cup of coffee or something?
I've got a whole
She's
lot
off
of coffee.
today.
I'm not off today. I'm just trying to make sure I wasn't missing anything. There was a fire over on Spring Grover in that area, so they were working over in that area this morning. They had a 3-alarm fire. But other than that, right now, things are just picking up. I was just looking to make sure there wasn't anything I was missing. No accidents reported out there right now, so that's good news.
Good.
How about that?
We like
Took me
that.
a minute to get that out.
Early voter Joan Stevens tried to cast her early vote 3 times Monday before it worked correctly. When she hit Mitt Romney the first 2 times, Barack Obama's name lit up. A poll worker asserted the machine had been acting up. Now, what cracks me up, because we all have computers, and we all know they don't always work, why we think that these computers and these voting machines can't have that happen to them. Are you kidding me? It scares the hell out of me, to be very candid with you. I kind of wish we had paper ballots that people counted. Just saying. Ann Romney campaigned with Cindy McCain in Hamilton. There was no cat fights. And they encouraged the crowd to donate to hurricane relief efforts by using her cell phone to show them how they could donate to the Red Cross. Beechwood football players.
I appreciate them being here. Appreciate you all being here. I appreciated Jane mentioned those that are suffering, and I brought my cell phone up. It's not because I'm waiting for Mitt to call me. I'm going to show you how easy it is to give a contribution to the American Red Cross over your phone, and I'm going to do it for you right now, but you're going to have to wait a second because I'm going to put my glasses on.
Around 19 players of Beechwood's football team were suspended or kicked off after it was discovered they drank alcohol on the property of Ludlow City Administrator Brian Richmond. Richmond said he was unaware that drinking had taken place. I know Brian Richmond. I'm going to tell you something. With all due respect to Beechwood, are you freaking kidding me? If I was a parent, I would be raising hell. Not to say that drinking alcohol because you're in high school is proper. It's not. But you get kicked off the team.
How many kids in high school?
19 kids. Are you kidding me?
How many of them are athletes, too?
And I wonder if Brian Richmond is going to lose his job. You know? Wow. And I'm sure he had a kid that was playing on the team, obviously, because that's why they were at their house.
Is this football? Are they still playing? Or basketball?
No, basketball. Football. Jeez, Pete.
Season's almost over.
Sherrod Brown is leading Josh Mandel. Yeah, but they always go to the playoffs. He's up by 9 points. Josh Mandel's going down. I don't like either one of these guys, to be candid with you. Kentucky Town was forced to evacuate. West Point, not far from Louisville, was evacuated when a derailed train had chemical fires. Wow. That hurts. Doesn't it? This is a sad story. Ohio County resident Billy Wayne Scott was pronounced dead at the scene of a Dearborn County crash yesterday after his truck was hit head-on by a 39-year-old Sean Horseman. You know, every single day we come 4 feet from head-on collisions with other cars. It's kind of scary. Don't you think it's scary? I think it's scary. Grand jury declined to indict the Madisonville man Kevin Lavazio for running over and killing his brother with his truck in October. He said he accidentally backed over him. If I ran over one of my brothers, I'd say it was an accident. President Obama is coming. Wait. We want to give out wrong information. Obama's coming here on Monday. If you'd like to meet President Obama, he'll be in town Monday. And Michelle Obama is going to speak at Miami on Sunday.
Yeah, we've got this fact straight. You've definitely got it covered.
It's all accurate.
Yeah.
I got to do what I can do.
We pulled it off the news sites, all of them.
Garrett, what is an aqua lung?
I have
aqua
no
means
idea.
water, lung means lung. So this is Water in Your Lung song.
Which means drowning.
By Jeff Rotal on Class X Radio. Before I get rolling, Denise, I thought I'd give you an opportunity to update everyone in the tri-state what's going on in traffic.
Well, for some reason, they still have the accident posted here on Anderson Ferry at US 50. So, no, I'm not making fun of anybody and calling anybody a ferry in Anderson. I'm just saying. So, but right now, that's it. I mean, traffic is starting to pick up. It's that time of day, but no big problems right now on the roadways.
Well,
Isn't that nice?
We're glad that there's no problem. I got to ask Garrett this question. This is a guy question.
Fire away.
In the newspaper, there is a story about these female bodybuilders. And I don't know about you, Garrett, but are you kidding me? I don't want to be next to a
Not
woman.
sexy.
Not at all.
No.
Who you touch them and it's like, it's like being with a guy.
Like rock hard.
I want
How do you
soft.
know that's?
I want soft, not hard.
Wait a minute. How do you know it would be like being with a guy?
Common sense. You got a muscle
Most
bound
guys
woman.
are most guys hard. Like,
Well, look at me.
Wow, Denise. Are most guys hard?
okay, that's
Direct
not what I
hard
meant.
mod.
Not what I meant. Not what I meant.
No, I agree
You're
with
on
you, though.
probation.
Yeah,
I'm
you're-
on probation
I'm going to
now.
cut your mic, Denise.
Yeah.
I have that power.
UK has an exhibition tonight. And how about this? We have what Calipari says, he's going to try combinations, including having 2 7-footers sometimes on the floor at the same time. UK is going to rock it this year. And they still got their best recruiting class any year coming in. I want to report this. Anthony Davis, the UK MVP, Mr. Everything, number 1 draft choice.
Player of the year.
21 points, 7 rebounds against Tim Duncan in San Antonio. They were up by 1 after he made a couple free throws. The Spurs pulled it out 99 to 95. But how about Anthony Davis's debut? You got to like that.
He makes them so much better just like that.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
Just bingo. Also, Pacers 90, Raptors 88. And that was on the road. How you like that one? Sixers 84, Nuggets 75. Nuggets are supposed to be good. Spurs, I already covered that one. Rockets 105, Pistons 96, Warriors 87, 85. Jazz 113, Mavericks 94. Bulls 93, Kings 87. Clippers 101, Grizzlies 92. Trailblazers 116. Lakers 106. They're 0-2.
That's right.
Wow, wow.
They'll be all right, but, man, it seems like every year they just have to take a bunch of time to mesh. It's weird.
Dwight Howard
All-Stars.
Dwight Howard had 33 points and 14 rebounds. That's a lot of rebounds.
They got Howard, Pau Gasol, they're 2 big men. Steve Nash distributing. Kobe. They're going to be unreal. But 0-2.
How about Marvin Lewis, the Bengals coach? Basically, he called Andy Dalton needs to be more of the D word at a press conference.
Yeah.
And Ray Maluga, too.
I agree with him. The Bengals never, look. They just look content, I guess.
By the way, I like Ray Maluga, but I don't know about you, but I feel like he's had a huge drop-off.
Yeah, he's just not very good.
He used to be all over the field, and he looks like he's chasing people running down the field now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in college, wasn't he playing with, Clay Matthews? At USC, you got all-star linebackers back there, and now you're with the Bengals, you're exposed.
Right. Exposed. Today's NFL
game. You're a fraud, Ray Maluga.
Kansas City at San Diego. And NCAA, Eastern Michigan at Ohio, Virginia Tech at Miami, and at 9:15, Western Kentucky at Middle Tennessee. Do you have anything else you'd like to add in sports?
I do not. Went to the UC basketball game Monday night, exhibition opener.
How'd they look?
Looked real good. They're going to be a fun team to watch, too. Maybe compete for your Cats for the national championship. Cats v. Cats.
Ain't happening.
And my Bearcats will take it down.
No way.
That would be an interesting thing. Sit you guys next to each other.
Let me tell you something about
cool.
a basketball team. It's like horses, see. Breeding matters.
Yeah?
UK has all the blue chip players.
Well, yeah, they've recruited well. Yeah, you can't.
Now every once in a while you have that team that overcomes and plays above themselves. But odds are talent wins.
You know what? One of these years, though, Calipari is not going to get those guys to play like a team. He's not going to get them to play together because they're all there for 1 year. Last year, did a great job of that. He had 5 guys that would play together.
He does it good every year.
UK's never going to bite him 1 year.
UK's never going to lose again.
It's going to bite him 1 year. He's going to have some selfish player.
He's after UCLA's championship record, and he's going to get it.
And they'll always be great in the regular season. Then probably, 5-6 years down the road, he'll have to,
I don't think they're going to lose a game this year.
Give back these wins.
Or next year. I don't think we'll see UK lose a basketball game in the foreseeable future.
When will it come out that Calipari's recruiting violation? I give within the next 5 years.
Slander and libel will not make the UC Bearcats better.
Mick does it the right way. He's going to get those boys to play like a team.
Calipari doesn't need to cheat. He goes in, they say, yes, we want to play for you. It's that simple.
Didn't he already? I thought he was already at Memphis.
No.
In his Memphis days.
Just because people like his underboss might do something improper, like every once in a while, Chuck gets out of line.
And you have to...
But that's not me getting out of line.
You have to rein him back in.
So if Calipari's underlings, make a mistake every once in a while, why should we blame Calipari?
Hey, pin it on somebody else when he gets caught. Pull a Pete Carroll and just head to the NBA. Head to the pros.
All right, let's go on with some science news.
Love science.
You love science? Data from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration shows that the wind swath from Sandy covered 2 million square miles. Whatever the hell that means.
Wow.
2 million square miles.
Thank you for that, William.
The wind swath. Anybody that was affected, I would think, by it. Like, we would be part of that because we got those 50-mile-an-hour
Garrett,
gusts.
this doesn't apply to you. It only applies to Wiz because you're too young. All right. In Australia and Canada, a new nasal spray for female Viagra is in clinical trials. The spray would have the same effect on women that Viagra, which generates $2 billion in U.S. sales per year, has on men. Oh, wait a minute now. It's impossible to have the same effect on women because they don't have the same junk, guys.
I was going to say, what does the women need?
So what does Viagra do for them? Do you know, Denise? Have you read up on this?
Well, Viagra doesn't necessarily turn anything on, right? It just keeps things going. I'm asking. I don't know.
I have no idea. I've never used it.
I'm asking. That's my understanding.
I think so. That's why we're saying, how is it different from...
I don't know. I don't need it. I wouldn't need it. So.
I don't know how there's female Viagra.
Well, maybe they need something to help keep them going. I don't know.
But women just kind of sit there.
Really? What kind of women have you met?
Well, you know what I mean. It's guys doing all the work.
It's time to move on. It's time to move on. I want to do a rest in peace, and let's give Oracle status to New York Police Department officer Artur Kasprasok. He's the off-duty officer drowned Monday night after rescuing 7 of his family members, including his 15-month-old son. He rescued everybody, got him in the upstairs, but he lost his life. We're going to give you Oracle status, Artur.
You've been awarded Oracle status.
Sad stuff, man.
It did. I just
and
got
the total
chills.
death toll is 72 people across 8 states. Not good.
No, it isn't.
Smugglers tried to use ramps to drive a Jeep Cherokee over a 14-foot U.S.-Mexico border fence, and the 2 smugglers got away. Did you see that picture?
No.
It's hilarious. This SUV, this Jeep is stuck on the wall, on the fence. I mean,
I saw that yesterday.
Wow.
I saw that.
And they used a ramp to get up there?
They used a ramp.
And then what'd they do? Eventually tip over to the other side?
Yep.
Wow.
That's interesting.
I thought it was ingenious. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I like this Beatles song. It's a high-paced Beatles song. And for the life of me, will someone text me and tell me what the hell it means? Because it makes no sense whatsoever, but it's a good song on Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. You know, it's great to have an underboss that you can always count on. All right, we got the answer to the question about the Beatles song back in the USSR. The Beatles were supposed to be allowed into Moscow to perform, but that the reaction of the screaming fans to their arrival at their plane was seen as a very non-communist, and Brezhnev decided not to let them disembark back in the USSR was written because of that incident. So they flew in, and they didn't get to do their thing, and they flew back out. And that's what happened.
And they didn't even get to play, huh?
They didn't get to play. Do you have a traffic report for everyone out there driving to and fro?
I do have a traffic report. Right now, there's an accident that has, in Springboro, that has 741 closed at West Pekin, there at West Pekin Road.
I've been on East Pekin, but never West Pekin.
Okay. Well, I shouldn't be laughing because there is a serious accident there. But yeah, it's an interesting road. And as far as heading inbound, northbound 71, 75, seeing a slowdown there from around Dixie onto the bridge, already looking at about 15 minutes. And just around the 74 merge heading north on 75, right up to Mitchell. Other than that, things not looking too bad.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Macy's has been sued in Boston class action lawsuit for misrepresentations that their jewelry is fine gold jewelry when it's not.
Well, how would it not be fine gold jewelry?
I got to ask you a question, Jake.
Yep.
I know you buy all your jewelry for your woman from Macy's.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Are you going to join this? Did you buy jewelry thinking it was fine gold when it was really fake?
I did. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I'm just hoping.
Does Stephanie know the difference?
She doesn't know yet.
It didn't turn her neck green or anything yet?
No, I hope she's not listening right now.
Well, I mean,
as far as she knows,
as
far as I'm still telling her, it's gold.
It's gold. Well, you know what? I used to sell jewelry. There's a stamp that says 14K. So what was it?
Where did you sell jewelry?
God, years ago. I worked at Marshall Granger's Jewelers in Fort Thomas. I worked for Getz Jewelers. I worked for Bailey Banks and Biddle and Newstead Loring Andrews.
I've always wanted to ask somebody that worked at a jewelry store this. How much did you steal?
I never stole anything.
Oh, I'd have stolen stuff.
I mean, we got it at cost. No, we got it at cost plus 10%, so there was really no reason to. I mean, I'm sure there
Stealing's
people did.
cheaper than cost plus
You're right,
10%.
but you know what? I mean, there was an inventory. I mean, I guess I'm sorry. I'm a little squeaky clean there. I couldn't do that.
Saying you're sorry. I was just, kidding around. I wasn't really thinking you were a thief.
No.
Why didn't you just steal gems?
Gems.
Just take out gems from the actual.
There's such, they do inventory. You had to account for everything every day, so even in the cash drawer.
That stinks.
But jewelry-wise, I mean, I'm just wondering, how did they sell the jewelry that way if it's marked 14K? If they were buying it, I wonder if they knew the difference or if it was the person selling it to them.
Fraudulence.
Man, I tell you right now, I'm glad I don't live in Breezy Point, Queens. That is an incredible.
Look at that mess.
Devastation. How about this? The New York City Marathon is still going to go.
Really?
When is that? This weekend?
On Sunday.
Wow.
I'm going to fly up there, run in it, come back to, be ready for the show.
Right.
I think I'm going to have my own personal best time. I'm really ready to rock and roll it. Wow.
He's
going to smell up there.
Yeah, everybody smells when they run in that thing.
Well, I mean, just from I've heard it smells even fouler.
Fouler
than it already is in New York because of the storm. Dirt and mud and trash.
There's nothing worse than cleaning up after the flood. We had a river camp that was a summer home. It was my in-laws, and man, that mud after the flood.
About having two homes.
I didn't have it.
Summer homes.
I didn't have it.
Where do you summer?
We don't brag on the radio.
Where do you summer, Denise?
I couldn't afford it. I just used it. Where do you summer?
Where do you summer?
Yeah, well, in the Hamptons.
Summer at my house.
Yeah.
What do you mean, where do I summer?
Jerry Sandusky's being held in protective custody at a Pennsylvania prison that holds most of the state's death row inmates due to his high-profile stature. His visits are no contact, and he's allowed to shower 3 times per week. And he will eat all meals in his cell. I say let Jerry Sandusky be raped.
General
repeatedly.
Population. I'm surprised they only get 3 showers a week.
And again,
though.
who would want to rape Jerry Sandusky? That's disgusting.
Yes, it is.
Get your mind out of the gutter, Garrett.
Yeah. Sorry. I'll get back on track.
Please do.
Oh, this is messed up. The father of a 13-year-old black boy has filed a lawsuit against an Atherton, California school employee who allegedly referred to his son as my slave. Good golly.
Oh, no.
Not smart. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
That's like the golf analyst on the Golf Channel a few years ago that said that they should lynch Tiger Woods because he was dominating the field. She got suspended or something.
She was fired, I remember.
No, she's still on the Golf Channel. Kelly Tillman with a G.
Man, that was a slip though. She didn't really mean that though. Did she? I hope not.
Wrong choice of words.
Bad choice, definitely. This is interesting. The West Virginia legislative candidate by the name of John Rose Sr., no relation to Pete, died Tuesday when he was hit by a falling tree branch while checking the fences on his farm. That scares the hell out of me. Tree branches fall. Hell, bad luck. He was the third West Virginian to die from accidents related to the hurricane's aftermath.
You know, I've heard that the trees that actually sway and give a lot are the ones that you don't have to worry about. It's the ones that are more sturdy,
More
that
solid
just
trees.
fall over,
That aren't swaying?
that aren't swaying. You want a good sway.
Yeah,
I want some
baby.
good sway in your
Can I
tree
chime in
branch.
with an accident that just happened?
No.
Well, the only reason is
Go-
it's
go
because
ahead.
it's on eastbound 74 at Montana. So that's a time of day that everybody's kind of heading in
Go
that
ahead
direction.
and weigh in on it. What is it now?
Eastbound 74
Weigh
at
in.
Montana. Okay, so it's already slow from North Bend. So that just happened, just popped up. Just wanted everybody to know.
Thanks for weighing in,
It,
Denise.
it popped in there.
Joe Biden campaigned in Florida, joked with a Republican in a restaurant. After it's all over, when your insurance rates go down, then you'll vote for me in 2016. Joe, by 2016, your Alzheimer's is going to be in full bloom. And I don't want to insult anybody that's on Alzheimer's, but by golly, we don't want our president and vice president to be a full-blown Uncle Joe, do we? No. He's unbelievable. Good old Joe Biden. Biden in Florida said Romney's ad about GM and Chrysler shipping jobs to China was one of the most flagrantly dishonest ads I can remember in my political career. Hey, Joe, what about the lies you guys tell about this whole thing in Benghazi happened because of this video that was done? Da, 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 da. Makes me sick, man, I tell you right now. By the way, I'm going to rant, just so y'all know. I'm going to rant. I'm
Go
going to
for
rant
it.
today.
Go.
Not right now, but I'm going to
Oh.
rant. Chris Matthews calls people who deny climate change pigs. All right, Matthews, that means you're calling me a pig. I'll throw down with you. And by the way, if you walked up to me in a restaurant to challenge me like you did down in Florida during the Republican convention and said something about being a douchebag, I would have laid you out. You would have been appearing on your show with a broken face. He told a professor, well, Professor Oppenheimer, back in the 60s, we called such people pigs. Pigs. No, really. They don't care about the planet. They don't care about the destruction of war. All they want is what they got, their stuff, and they want more of it.
Wow.
We got that clip. Why don't you play? This is his own words.
This is, Jake, is this the whole load?
Chris Matthews, pigs.
Chris, yep.
It says Chris Matthews.
Professor Oppenheimer,
pigs.
back in the 60s, we called such people pigs. Pigs. No, really, they don't care about the planet. They don't care about the destruction of war. All they want is what they got, their stuff, and they want more of it. Is that what we're facing here, just greed of people? I'm not talking about the guy working at a coal mine. That's hard work. I'm talking about people who won't listen to you, won't listen to science because they want more stuff.
Hey, Chris Matthews, we want more stuff and less Chris Matthews. All right. You know, I picked out that song by Rob Jungles, Memphis Thing, which I know everybody loves. Well, this is another obscure song by an obscure band, and I love this guy's vocals. This is Thriving Ivory on Class X Radio, where the Bulldog plays only the best music.
Do you dream?
Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio, delivering radio superbity every morning from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 88.9 and 89.8 FM Class X Radio. Just loving it, baby. Denise, is there any updates in traffic, accidents, or things that people need to be concerned about as they try to get to work on this ugly-looking Thursday?
I think we're supposed to get some sun later, so we'll hope it gets better. There was an accident eastbound 74 at Montana, so you need to watch for that. It's already slow from North Bend, so once you get past the accident, then at Montana, you're still slow all the way over to 75, and then once you get to 75, northbound, that traffic's slow from 74 up around Mitchell, southbound 75 from the Allen Road overpass on down to Sharon, and then kind of off and on there from Lockland on down to Paddock. An accident at Clifton and Martin Luther King, and then we still are dealing with the road closure let's see, 741 at West Pekin. So watch for that as well. And then northbound 71, 75 already slowing from Buttermilk.
Thank you. I went to University of Cincinnati yesterday to take a deposition of a doctor. By the way, this doctor gave my client this medicine for like 2 decades, and my client became blind. Come to find out, if you're giving somebody this medicine for this long, you might want to be a little careful. It could cause blindness. So anyway, I'm taking this guy's deposition. After the deposition, I'm walking through the UC Medical School, and some real big, tall, black dude goes, "Hey, Bulldog." And I thought he knew me, and I turned around and went and talked to him. He said, "No, we've never met before." He said, "I just love your body of work. Keep it up." Made my
There you
day,
go.
baby.
Wow.
Made my
absolutely.
day.
Was he a UC basketball player?
He was a big, tall dude. Now, he wasn't a basketball player. I think he was probably – he looked like maybe he was
– what time of day was it?
Building maintenance or something.
Just somebody that knew you.
Late morning.
Oh, yeah, they wouldn't have been up by then.
That's a good point. We're going to go ahead and entertain you with some clips from yesterday's news. This is something that we've been doing more of, and I'm just going to rifle these off. It'll spark some conversation, but there's always something going on, and we're going to bring them to you in case you missed them or you don't want to listen to the news because the news sucks. Garrett, give us this first clip.
As they say in my
business,
I'm gonna give you the whole load today.
Oh gosh, Joe!
Oh, thanks,
please, Joe.
The whole load.
Please, Joe. We don't want the whole load. I tell you right now, Joe Biden needs to be, I don't know, taken off the campaign trail. All right, this next clip. Fire away.
They're running those very ads in Toledo. They're running those ads in Lorain, Wisconsin. They're running
Florida,
those
Joe.
ads in those very places where these people just got back on their feet, trying to scare the living bedevil out of them. Ladies and gentlemen, the fact of the matter is, the ad was so outrageous that PolitiFact, I know they don't think fact checkers matter, but PolitiFact called it wholly inaccurate. The Cleveland Plain Dealer, one of the major newspapers in the state, said it's a masterpiece in misdirection.
Joe, you're a masterpiece in
misdirection?
Dissection.
Well, he could be a masterpiece in misdirection, too.
All right, next piece there, Garrett. I've had enough of Joe Biden.
Get back to normalcy. And so the things
normalcy.
We need to do is to make sure that we get power restored as quickly as possible. Make sure that people have clean drinking water and wastewater treatment plants are working. Hospitals are taken care of the way they need to. And then we get kids back to school. And so I discussed all those issues today with the president, and I'm pleased to report that he has sprung into action immediately.
Is he supposed to not to?
Right. In the car riding
That's his
together.
job, isn't it?
Governor Chris Christie, I don't like him more and more. He's a fat pig. Fatty, 2x4, can't fit through the kitchen door.
You're fat.
You guys are bad.
He's so fat, when he sits around the house, he sits around the house.
Let me ask you this.
He's so fat in the dictionary, you see Governor Christie's picture next to the word humongous. What were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to say, with the president being so involved, no, I'm not going to do a fat joke.
He's so fat, he hasn't seen his willy whacker since he was 6.
Does he need to?
A man needs to see his willy whacker. Next. You got another?
Yeah, we got one more.
In the last few years, America's been knocked down.
Go.
23 million people can't find full-time work. And we borrow $4 billion every single day, much of it from China. When someone doesn't get the job done, you got to hold them accountable. Obama's second term would be a rerun of the first, and our country just couldn't survive that. We need someone who could turn it around fast, and that man is Mitt Romney. There's not much time left, and the future of our country is at stake.
American Crossroads is responsible for the content of this advertising.
And by the way, good job, Clint.
Clint.
I just gotta ask this question. All you jackwagons out there that are maybe gonna vote for Barack Obama or thinking about voting for Barack Obama, which I know you're not listening to me because I've turned you off a long time ago, just like you turned me off. I want to tell you something. How anybody could sit back and look at this president and want to vote for him blows my mind. The fact that there's any state that's close. In other words, the fact that there's any state that would give him 50%, I find incredible. I mean, $1 trillion budget deficits, $16 trillion in debt, our government lending credit downgraded, lying about Libya. I mean, the whole world is in turmoil. Thank you, Barack Obama. How about this, folks? and things just keep popping back in my head. Man, I forgot about that one. I forgot about that one. The Democratic Convention, when they took God and Israel out of the platform, and on live national television, the mayor of L.A. put up for a voice vote to put it back in, and there was a bigger yell for against putting God back in the Democratic platform than for it, and he just had to decide on his own, yeah, okay, the yays have it. A complete farce. Half of the people in the Democratic Convention were against mentioning God in the Democratic platform. That's messed up, folks. This is the leader. This is the leader of that party. This is the leader of our country. He can't call the Fort Hood massacre, where a soldier who's been in contact with terrorists abroad stands up on a table, starts shooting and killing fellow American soldiers, shouting, Allah Akbar, which means God is great. That's what the Muslims always shout. He can't call that a terrorist act. But yet, he can try to blame Libya, the attack on the consulate in Benghazi, caused by a video. They can release the Situation Room photograph of them sitting there watching bin Laden getting taken out, and then tell everybody about how they disposed of his body, and tell everybody about this and that, and how they got him and what went down, and then open up the freaking government record so they could do a movie about it. But he won't say a freaking word or release videotape or a picture about what's going on in Libya or what went on. Oh, okay, energy dependence. Yeah, that's a good thing. He's against the XL pipeline going all the way. He is against exploration in the Gulf, but let's lend $1 billion. Let's lend $1 billion to Brazil so they can explore for oil in the Gulf. Every issue. The border, nothing. Nothing. Yeah, come on in here, terrorists, illegal aliens. We don't care. Come on in here. There isn't a freaking issue that this guy has done anything worth doing. How can he have 45, 46, 47, 48, 49% of the vote? Who are these people? I'll tell you who they are. They're freaking flaming liberals, unions-ites, and they don't care about anything. I just want my union check. I just want my union pension. I just want this. I just want this. I just want that. Selfish bastards is what they are. And it's incredible. Job performance is supposed to matter. Job performance is supposed to matter. Ohio? Are you kidding me, Ohio? Right when I thought that I'm ready to leave Kentucky, which I have issues with, to move to Ohio, well, I guess now I got to go to Indiana. I got to become a Hoosier now.
You weren't moving from Kentucky.
Jeez, oh Pete.
You couldn't leave. You couldn't leave the blue.
You know what I need, Garrett? I need some Frampton. We got some Frampton.
We need him in here.
All right.
We need to get Frampton in here.
Get Frampton in. You're my guest liner. Up and get Frampton in here.
We'll get him in here.
All right. Women, they can do anything, can't they? This is Frampton. Baby, I Love Your Way on Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. I had some advice for Barack Obama. This is what I would do. I'm being totally serious. If I was an advisor for Barack Obama, I would not campaign another single day. I would spend the rest of today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, out there, hurricane relief in it, baby. I'm serious. I wouldn't go. The national networks are going to cover him doing all that stuff. So why wouldn't you want to do that?
Right. That would make him look best among.
No more campaigning is what I would do. What do you think?
No, I was going to say, I totally agree. And that's what I was going to say. When any other natural disaster like this has happened, have they actually gone down and just been there walking around? Or is he just doing this right now?
No, they do it.
As
Bush
much
did
as
it
this?
And Katrina eventually. I mean, they'll
but
go
not
to the
immediately.
Natural. Well, not
right?
immediately, but
That's
Bush
right.
also made a big mistake not going down there. pretty much immediately.
And Obama is touring the hurricane damage. Of course, yesterday he goes, "We are here for you and we will not forget." Obama, Wall Street Journal said some polls show that Obama holds a small lead over Romney in Wisconsin, New Hampshire, and Iowa. However, Romney's making a move, and he is way ahead with independent voters, which makes a big difference. Big difference. Karl Rove. Karl Rove, I don't really care for the guy, but I know he knows what he's talking about. And also Dick Morris, who I kind of like, even though he's a weirdo, and I know he knows what he's talking about. Rove says that Romney maintains a small but persistent polling edge. As of yesterday afternoon, there had been 31 national surveys in the previous 7 days. Romney led in 19, Obama in 7, and 5 were tied. Romney averaged 48.4, Obama 47.2. Romney was at or above 50% in 10 polls, Obama in none. Let's keep him below 50, folks. Here's what Dick Morris had to say to The Hill. Voters have figured out that Obama has no message, no agenda, and not even much of an explanation for what he's done over the past 4 years. His campaign is based entirely on persuading people that Mitt Romney is a uniquely bad man, entirely dedicated to the rich, ignorant of the problems of the average person. No, they haven't, Dick. Almost 50% of the country still wants to vote for the guy. It's incredible. Traffic report, please.
Well, right now we just got another accident in. Let's see here. Eastbound on Ronald Reagan at Ridge, the right lane is blocked, so watch for that. Eastbound 74 still dealing with that accident at Montana. You're backed up now to Harrison-Rybolt, or to the Harrison-Rybolt exit. And that's pretty slow there. And once you get to 75, you're slow on up northbound up to Mitchell, and southbound from Allen Road on down to pretty much the Ronald Reagan merge, and a little south of that. 71, you're dealing with that slow traffic from Fields Erdel on down to the Ronald Reagan merge. 471 northbound from Southgate, and 7175 in northern Kentucky from 275 to the bridge. How's that?
Sounds good. That was concise.
That was okay.
Clear.
Okay. You sure?
It's all right.
The Labor Department says jobs numbers will be released Friday morning as scheduled at 8:30 a.m. Dun, 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 dun. Job numbers. They're coming.
See you, Obama.
Bye, Barack. Hey, job numbers, can you put in California this time? Maybe a little bit of California.
Maybe the biggest state we have.
I hope the number, 7 point. I hope they just go up a percentage point. Just give me 1%. Of course, we know they won't because who's releasing them? Obama's Labor Department. While airlines and hotels say they are losing revenue due to the impact of Sandy, it created jobs for builders and businesses who repair power lines. Yeah, I'd say they're going to be boosted. Cook County Board President Tony, with an I, Breckwinkle, has dropped plans to tax bullets sold in Chicago at 5 cents each. The board will continue to pursue a $25 tax on firearms. Good thinking, Tony. It's not taxing those bullets. ADP says new calculations put monthly job creation in September at 88,200, down from the 162,000 the firm reported previously. Hey, I got a life observation to comment. I dog pretty heavy the radical Islamic extremists. But I would like to just let everybody know that Bulldog Nation has a captain who's a Muslim. Ahmad Mohammed, a client of mine. He's about a 6'3" big black dude, martial arts guy, who retained the Bulldog to handle his case after seeing me kicking Chief Craig's butt on that Erica Collins matter. Anyway, he's a good guy and he's a Muslim. And guess what, Garrett? When we break out in this national stuff that's going to happen here shortly, he's going to be our bodyguard.
Really?
So when you and I walk down the street in New York City,
that'll be sweet.
Ahmad Mohammed is going to kick anybody's ass that messes with us.
We gotta get him a suit.
We just say, hell yeah, he's going to have a suit.
An earpiece, even
Absolutely.
If it's fake.
There you go.
That'd be so sweet.
And Denise, if you're with us, we'll let him take up for you too.
Do you know how I just said that? If you're with us.
If you're with us.
I don't know who they're going to want to take with.
Traffic in New York City,
I'm just saying,
is tough.
I can do traffic pretty well in New York, just like I did here.
Do you think you could handle traffic in New York City?
Yeah, why wouldn't I? We've handled every time he crashed the airplane on me. I was in New York.
Do you know the roads?
You read them off the map.
First, second,
Do you think
third,
they all
fourth,
know it?
Fifth Streets.
Sometimes.
Here's an example. See, if Ahmad Muhammad was right here, this would never happen. This surly-looking
intruder.
Surly-looking intruder.
She could have a bomb.
She's our guest.
This surly-looking intruder who snuck into the studio would never make it past Ahmad Muhammad.
Ahmad Muhammad would have her stopped at the door.
He would take her
escorted
down.
her in. He would have escorted her.
He would have escorted her out
after interrogation. Of
course. Do you have proper ID, security code clearance, and the secret password?
I gave her some. How about that?
Well, what's the password? Does she know the secret password?
She said, "I'm freezing. Let me in."
That's not the password.
Is it New England clam chowder?
No, it's just clam.
This is kind of cool. I'm the only one that knows the password.
I don't think I know the password. I'm going to have to get that from you.
The password is California flagellistic expialidocious.
Isn't it supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?
Something like that. I don't know.
He was trying.
So what's your name, young woman?
Melissa Boomer.
You got to put the mic right up there.
Right up there.
So how did you sneak in here?
I didn't sneak in. She let me in.
She let you in?
Denise, we have an informant.
I texted her and said, "Let me in."
What are you here to talk? What are you here to talk about?
Actually, I'm here to talk about the renewal of issue 42.
Well, that sounds boring. The renewal of issue 42. What the hell is the issue 42 anyway?
Issue 42 is a renewal levy for Cincinnati Public Schools.
Renewal levy?
What does that mean?
Levy.
What's a levy? Is you talking about the levy like if the dam breaks, the levee breaks, and there's water everywhere? Is that the kind of levy we're talking about?
The river floods.
Oh, then everybody would vote for that one.
Oh, my goodness.
She wouldn't have any problems then.
I'm just messing with you. What's your name?
Melissa Boomer.
Melissa Boomer. Well, Melissa Boomer, when we come back, I promise that I won't play head games with you anymore.
Oh, darn.
This is Foreigner Head Games on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Well, this is a remarkable event on our show's history. We are blessed to have Denise's sister as a guest on our show, and it's very relevant.
I was just going to say that there's relevance to her being here.
And she obviously got all the brains and the looks in the family. I got to ask you, first off, your name and your official title that you're representing here today on Class X Radio.
Well, my name is Melissa Boomer, and I work for Cincinnati Public Schools as the IT training administrator for the district.
What does that mean, like the IT administrator? Like, what exactly do you do?
It means I get to teach teachers.
Sounds important.
Yeah. Well, I like it. I think it's important. I get to teach teachers how to use technology effectively in their classroom.
You know what? Could you give me a private lesson? Because let me tell you right now, I absolutely don't know anything about technology except checking my iPhone for messages and emails. Other than that, I am technology stupid.
That's awesome, because that's a lot more than a lot of people can do.
Tell me about this issue. First of all, what number is it?
It's issue 42.
Issue 42, and what is issue 42?
Issue 42 is a renewal levy for Cincinnati Public Schools so that we can continue to fund our general fund.
Okay, so they always word these levies so stupid, Melissa. Like sometimes you don't know if yes means yes or no means no. If you want this levy to pass, how do you want people to vote? The way this is worded, what's the right answer?
Yes.
All right. So on issue 44, it's yes, yes, yes,
42.
yes. 42, it's yes, 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 yes.
Yes, 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 yes.
Now, how much money does this, and this is a renewal, so is it fair to say that this is something that is already in place that's just being renewed?
Exactly. That is exactly what it is. And based on the new evaluation system, people's taxes will drop a little bit.
Really? How do you know, or do you know whether or not this has got a good chance to pass or not? Tough economic times, and let's face it, the Tea Party, which I like, and the Republicans are pushing a lot of voters out there, and a lot of them are like anti-everything, but I can't imagine them not voting for a renewal. For example, even Tea Partiers know that government and schools are necessary.
Right. I mean, everybody wants the best for their students, best for their children, you want the best education. It costs money, and we have to keep the money in. This would be a $51 million cut in our budget if it fails.
I have to have fun with this guy, and I'm not going to bash him, although Garrett might, but I'm not going to bash him because I feel like I got a truce going with the guy. But Daryl Parks, who used to be my boss at a different radio station, said if you voted for a school levy, you're stupid. And I respectfully disagree with that because I think there's some school. I think each situation is different. Some districts might not be managed well, but other districts probably are managed well. And I don't know enough about whether Cincinnati school districts manage well or not, but I want to tell you something. As a Tea Party guy, as a conservative, as somebody who hates government and wants less government, at the same time, I'm a big old freaking softy for school levies and school funds. Call me a sucker.
I don't think you're a sucker. You want a good education for your kids. You got to pay for it somehow.
What do you say about it, how the money's spent? A lot of people say, I want a good education for my kids, but they waste the money. What would be your response to that?
I completely disagree. We are so careful with every penny we spend. We have to justify everything. I mean,
I couldn't work for the government because of that, by the way. All the forms and stuff you guys got to fill out would drive me nuts.
It's not just the forms. It's actually going through, how are we going to use this? Why do we need this? Do we have something else in place that we can use to do it? Do we have to have this program? Do we have to have this technology? I mean,
let's play devil. Garrett, you're trying to say something.
I was just going to say, people see IT on the levy, and they're immediately probably going to think computers. I mean, that's what we're talking about, computers, anything technical that you work with in the schools, and they're going to think taxes going up so I can buy these kids Mac.
No, she works for the IT, but this levy's for more than just
this
IT.
is for our general fund. This pays for textbooks. This pays for the upkeep of our
so this
schools,
is textbook.
heat for our schools.
What would happen?
For it's our general fund, so all of our bills
See,
come out
because that's
of
what I have heard, IT, and I'm thinking information technology. So, but this is for the whole school.
This is for the whole school.
Okay, so that's just your title, but you're
Melissa. Right. What would happen if this goes down to defeat?
If this goes down to the defeat, that's $51 million in cuts. So that means that
you'd lose your job.
I would probably lose my job.
Which
means
51 million.
51 million. Many of us will lose our jobs, and this will directly affect instruction because teachers. We're going to have huge increases in classroom sizes.
How many students are in Cincinnati public schools?
Approximately 33,000.
How many schools?
There are 54 current schools.
Wow.
And we actually just added to, based on Hyde Park, we just reopened Hyde Park Elementary because Hyde Park asked us to. So it's now, we now have another new school there because.
Well, those Hyde Park folks ought to be able to get behind this thing and push it.
Well, you've got excellent schools. I mean, Hyde Park Elementary is a great school, even though it's only 2 years. 1 year. This is his first year. Kilgore Elementary, which is an excellent school. Walnut Hills, which are excellent schools.
Anderson High School's not in your district.
No, it's not.
That's a good thing. That school sucks.
No, that's a terrific school. You bite your tongue, dog.
Now,
Anderson High School's a blue ribbon association.
What's the mascot at Anderson High School?
Redskins.
Redskins. See, they're not even politically correct.
No, they're not.
They've tried to get us to change that in the past.
I got to ask you this question, Melissa. Relative to the Cincinnati Public School and this issue number 42, what's the campaign for and against it? Is there a campaign out there against this? Is there a campaign for it? Television commercials? Describe the battle lines.
Well, there's nobody actually coming out to say don't vote for issue 42 that I've seen.
Good.
There's no campaign, but there's not any support other than what the teachers, really, the local community, and it's very small.
What you guys are drumming up. Well, I would think that you have to get the people that have students in the district to vote the most. I mean, because if you don't have a kid that's going to any of these schools, you don't care. And
Melissa,
but schools directly affect your property value.
Right,
Melissa, exactly.
Good point.
Melissa, do you want me to guarantee success for issue 42 to make sure that this passes, so you could go home tonight with the peace of mind going into Tuesday that you know for certainty that this is going to pass? Would you like me to do that for you?
I absolutely would love.
Okay, then I'm going to do that. See, I am the head of a nation called Bulldog Nation. And throughout Cincinnati public school system are countless members of Bulldog Nation.
Yeah.
So by the power vested in me as the commander of Bulldog Nation, the godfather of the Bulldog Mafia, which is the enforcement arm, I hereby declare Bulldog Nation members to mobilize in support of issue 42 to help Melissa out. And we're even going to give Melissa and issue 42 yes vote Oracle status.
You've been awarded Oracle status.
To be clear, it's yes on 42.
Yes,
Yes, on 42.
Now, here's another thing. If there's anybody out there on Election Day trying to intimidate voters to vote no on issue 42, you let me know, and I'm going to send Chuck and some captains like Ahmad Mohammed and Bulldog Mafia to go over there, and we'll make sure that intimidation stops, okay?
I appreciate that more than you know.
Anything else you want to share? I'll give you a closing statement for everybody out there on issue 42.
Vote issue 42. It won't raise your taxes, and it will help your students.
And vote yes.
Yes on 42.
And your property value.
And your property value.
And yes on 42.
Romney and yes on 42.
That's what you need to vote for.
And I apologize for this, but the song that we have ready to play is Every Rose Has Its Thorn.
My favorites.
It is. It's a good song.
It's a great song. It's a classic.
Poison on Class X Radio. Eric Deters on Class X Radio. Ready to deliver some radio superbity to you. I want to remind everybody the next Wednesday at 10 p.m. It's on Lifetime Channel. About My Life is a Lifetime movie. Nicole Howe is featured, and I have a supporting actor role in this. So we'll keep promoting that. But next Wednesday, 10 p.m., mark your calendar. Denise, your sister, was a wonderful guest. And I hope her issue passes. I support the levy.
Well, for the kids especially.
What's a renewal of a levy anyway?
Right.
I don't know if we did a traffic report because of her guest, so give us a traffic report.
We didn't, and it's a busy time of day. Eastbound 74 still dealing with the accident, cleaning that up at Montana. You are slow from Harrison-Ribolt, a couple of other accidents. Southbound 75 around Mitchell. I kind of looked in there. I didn't really see that it's a big problem. Kellogg east of Sutton, Clifton at Martin Luther King, and Daly at Hollywood Drive there. Southbound on 71, that traffic is slow, really just from around Pfeiffer on down to around Ronald Reagan and then off and on down to the Kenwood Cut. Ronald Reagan, if you're heading inbound, that's slow from right around that Mount Healthy area, Hamilton Avenue on over to 75. And again, like I said, not seeing a big problem from that accident on 75 right around Mitchell. I mean, I'm looking at the cameras, not seeing a big delay. So, and still slow in Northern Kentucky, 71, 75 from around Buttermilk to the bridge and Southgate heading into downtown on 471.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Election night. I want to report that the Ohio Republican Party, their shing-ding is at the Renaissance downtown Columbus at the, they like that. That's their big state party. And if you want to drive to Columbus and hang out, that's going to be where all the action is. I wonder if there's a local, you know what we ought to think about doing? We ought to talk to Bill Spry. We ought to talk about, I'm being serious, doing a remote at the Hamilton County Board of Elections.
Yeah?
On Tuesday?
On Tuesday night. How cool would that be? All right, folks. You know that lots of individuals in Bulldog Nation gives me inside information. And then I like passing it on to you, and I protect their identity. Well, what I'm about ready to share with you is from a Duke worker, Duke Energy Company. And I'm going to read to you what was sent to me by email with his permission. Channel 9 ran a report last night about Duke disconnecting customers who refused to allow a smart meter to be installed on their house. By the way, they hounded me. That's right. Honest, hardworking, bill-paying customers are disconnected. Why turn off a meter to a customer that pays their bill? Duh. If you want some inside details, enjoy. As Duke moves towards 100% saturation of smart grid residential meters, the only customers that don't have the new meter are customers that don't want to take a day off work to wait for a tech to change the meter or simply don't want the new meter. We have approximately 60% of Hamilton County complete and are moving eastwardly into Claremont and beyond. We're also into Warren and Butler counties, and Kentucky is just getting rolling. Problem is, our regulatory commission in both states has given Duke the right to cut off power at the pole. Why? Because we can. That's right. In a non-competitive market, the power company can force you against your will to comply with their wishes. Communism, baby. The benefits are 100% Duke's. They are cutting jobs. The meter can be turned on and off or read remotely. Power is intoxicating, isn't it? Pun intended. Those are his words. The federal government awarded Duke $200 million to roll this thing out. That's right. Obama's administration gave us money to cut jobs. Neat stuff. They hide behind smart grid and homeland security, but in reality, the only benefits at the customer meter level is all Duke's labor costs decreasing. Powerline smart grid devices are amazing and worth the money, but individual meters, no way. That's coming from a Duke employee. So if you have an issue relative to your meter, I'd love to hear from you. You can email me at eric@ericdeters.com. Fascinating stuff. I promised this to you earlier in the show, and I'm now going to read it. And JFK has some great quotes, and the best one that you could stick and break off in the Obama administration and campaign is this. Ask not what you can do for your country, or ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. What more? That's totally anti-Obama, is it not? Okay. Well, this is from a John F. Kennedy speech, and while I read this to you, I want you to be thinking about Joe Biden, Barack Obama, and his entire administration as you go out there to vote. For of those to whom much is given, much is required. And when at some future date the High Court of History sits in judgment on each one of us, recording whether in our brief span of service we fulfilled our responsibilities to the state, our success or failure in whatever office we may hold, we'll be measured by the answers to 4 questions. First, were we truly men of courage, with the courage to stand up to one's enemies and the courage to stand up when necessary to one's own associates, the courage to resist public pressure as well as private greed? Secondly, were we truly men of judgment with perceptive judgment of the future as well as of the past, of our own mistakes as well as the mistakes of others, with enough wisdom to know what we did not know and enough candor to admit it? Third, were we truly men of integrity, men who never ran out on either the principles in which they believed or the people who believed in them, men whom neither financial gain nor political ambition could ever divert from the fulfillment of our sacred trust? Finally, were we truly men of dedication with an honor mortgage to no single individual or group and compromised by no private obligation or aim, but devoted solely to serving the public good and national interest? Courage, judgment, integrity, dedication. These are the historic qualities which, with God's help, will characterize our government's conduct in the 4 stormy years that lie ahead. John F. Kennedy. Evaluate Obama based on courage, judgment, integrity, and dedication. I'd give him a F. Your thoughts, Garrett?
F-.
Your thoughts, Denise?
I guess I'll have to agree with you on it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I'm going to do something really funny because this guy is really, really liberal and he's supporting Barack Obama, but I still love the guy. And I'm going to dedicate this song in advance since we already know Mitt Romney's going to win according to that bipartisan poll, the NPR poll. They projected Romney's going to win. And what we're going to have when Mitt Romney wins the election is Better Days on Class X Radio. I love this song. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. We are rolling. I tell you right now, I started doing a 3-hour show when I came to this radio station, which is Class X Radio 88.9 and 89.1, classxradio.com, and also on Facebook. And I added an hour to the show instead of 7 to 9, 6 to 9. And I'm not kidding you. It goes faster than that 2 hours. I mean, we're just rolling. Radio Superbia. I want to thank Bulldog Nation member Kenny, who is complimentary of the music I pick out. And I'm picking it out.
Yeah,
of course, I'm picking some of it out of surprise. Liz, this is funny. We go through this list. Garrett shouts out the song. Nope. Shouts out the nope. 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 Okay. Nope.
It is that way.
Traffic
but
report.
that's the system. We
That's
found
a
the
system.
system.
Right.
We have the system.
We want to make
then
sure.
Spry's happy, you're happy, and I'm happy.
Just to let you know, folks, I do not want to play a song that doesn't make you feel good or inspire you or otherwise. Traffic report, please.
Well, we have a problem. I was trying to look at the cameras here. There's an accident reported blocking 2 lanes on westbound 74 right around Coleraine. So just after you get off of 75 on to 74, heading in that westbound direction, the lanes are blocked. Now, I can't really see much of anything, but be aware that that is out there. Also, southbound 75 at Mitchell, not seeing that. Kellogg at east of Sutton, there's an accident there. Harrison at Rybolt, that's a new accident. There was one earlier this morning right around Coleraine, and you were backed up to Harrison. And that is that is right off at that intersection there. Also, 32 at Old State Route 74 in the Batavia area. And you still are slow in a few spots if you're heading into downtown 71, 75, still slow from around Buttermilk to the bridge. The rest of the traffic, 75, not looking too bad out there today. I was just looking around at some of the different cameras, but there is another accident here, Daly Road at Hollywood Avenue, if I can get that out.
Thank you, Denise. You know, this dude right here in the gray hair on Fox News that they have as a legal commentator, I mean, he lives in a tanning. Look at this cat. And I forget his name.
The hair on him.
They use him all the time.
We're watching Fox News.
And I
it's like
think,
an older Gene Simmons.
And I think to myself, how the hell does he get that gig? And I pay attention to legal commentators on all these shows. They can't hold a candle to me because I'm in the trenches, baby.
And that hair is unbelievable.
You're
on
out
him.
there in the field.
Stop bragging about your producer ability, Garrett. All right, moving right on. Republican National Committee is flush with cash for their in-game blitz, which is a great sign. And it looks like they're bringing everything in the kitchen sink. Westchester on Friday. They've got all their surrogates coming. You name them, they're coming with Mitt and Ryan, and they're going to do an Ohio blitz. They must be going to be bringing in every single freaking surrogate they have, and they're going to live in Ohio from Friday through the election, which, you know what? Smart move. Smart move. Yeah, the Bulldog will be there as well. Now, we got a clip for you, which is just too good to pass up. This is Jay Leno speaking about this don't ask, don't tell policy of Barack Obama.
Well, don't ask, don't tell is back. Not for gays in the military. It's President Obama's new policy for questions about Libya. Don't ask, don't tell. Well, that's the big story. The Republicans are accusing the White House of successfully engineering a massive cover-up of the Libyan attack. But on the plus side, it's the first time in 4 years the Republicans have given credit to Obama for doing anything successfully. So you got to at least give him a little credit.
That's because it's the only time he has done anything successfully. You know, I'm not a big Jay Leno fan, but every once in a while he's got a good one. His writers come up with one, and that is a great line. And it's true. Don't ask, don't tell. He can't. You know, the hypocrisy of saying you're going to be a transparent presidency and you don't answer those questions is pretty funny. It's also sad. In my opinion, it's also sad. We have some other issues we're going to address today. I want to thank William for giving me the short synopsis. Issue 42, we had Melissa Bomer on here, who's the IT coordinator for Cincinnati Public Schools. It's a renewal levy, issue number 42. Also, issue number 50 is apparently a renewal levy, supplementing the general fund for the county. Also, there's another renewal levy, issue 51. That's a general fund to provide funds for the alcohol, drug addiction, and mental health services for the district. By the way, folks, talk to Tierra Metcalf whether or not that's important. You know, you're just waiting for a bus, and the next thing you know, you're stabbed 12 times.
That's unbelievable.
By a mental health patient. Issue 4, 4-year terms for Cincinnati City Council. Voting yes for issue 4 would mean your support allowing Cincinnati City Council candidates to campaign for 4-year terms. By the power vested in me by Bulldog Nation, I hereby order. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm going to tell you, America is a democracy, but Bulldog Nation isn't. I order all members of Bulldog Nation to vote no and vote as many times as you can no. If you get arrested, call me. Bottom line is that are you kidding me? As bad as city council is, we want them to have 4-year terms? Nah, baby, nah. Which is a famous saying. Do you agree or disagree with me, Denise?
No, I agree.
I agree. I do. Substantive issue.
Well, I do want to make sure they know it's yes on 42, but then again, no on what you were just talking about. So Yeah, just as long as everybody understands.
Yes, we know that. Yes, yes, 42. We want to no.
On everything else.
On issue 4.
Okay.
City council. Are you kidding?
Oh. To let them stay for 4 freaking years, and they're all Democrats now. That's
Right.
why they want it.
That's why they want to change it, of course.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, sometimes there's irony, and we just luck out, and like the quote of the day or the Aesop fable of the day applies to something that's going on. You are going to laugh out loud as you drive your car as I read you the Aesop fable. A woodchopper one day went to the forest and looked around at the trees. Then he hung his head and appeared very sad. The trees, seeing how miserable he was, said, "What's the matter, old man? Is there anything we can do for you?" "I only want a little piece of wood to make a handle for my axe," said the chopper. "Why, that's easy," said the trees, and they all voted to give him a fine piece of wood, a strong, tough ash to make a handle. No sooner did the chopper fit his handle into his axe than he started chopping down the trees. An old oak tree turned to a beech tree and said, "Well, I suppose we deserve this for trying to please a chopper." Moral of the story, you're very likely to be the loser if you try to please an enemy. Hey, Chris Christie. Hello. Knock, knock. Next year, Barack Obama is going to be out there trying to beat your ass with a Democratic opponent. I'm telling you, man. Naive. And I tell you what I learned long ago. Now, if an enemy can become a friend, so be it. But I'm telling you right now, this is a great parable. The trees helped the axe guy get his. Are you kidding me? He chopped the trees down. Thank you very much. Kentucky Bar Council, for example, comes to mind. Every time I think that maybe they're going to change, no, it's not going to happen. Isn't it amazing how an Aesop fable that old can still be relevant?
Fits in today's
just like a biblical quote
theme.
And I'd like to say, you know what? Anybody that wants the Bulldog to come read to their school class, they need to call him. Because you hear how he read that? Just came to life. You brought it to life. You need to go read to some of these kids in grade school.
All right. So you're not volunteering me. You just
yes,
think I
am.
would do good at. Oh, you are volunteering.
Yeah. I think they need to email you at Eric.
You know what? I would do that.
Eric at ericdeters.com.
I would do that. I would read to school kids. It'd be the best school reading they ever had.
Yeah, probably would. I mean, you brought that story to life.
See? Have you ever heard Gary? By the way, Gary Jeff Walker, lit me up a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that toothless hillbilly?
And I try to be nice to him, so let's light him up. Give Gary Jeff Walker a jackwagon. You whiskey-drinking, bad breath, no-count, toothless wonder.
You jackwagon?
He is a hillbilly in every sense of the word.
You can't play good rock music or do a talk show.
He doesn't know his music.
The best thing that ever happened to you was Sensible Don. You couldn't carry his briefcase.
There's DP Daryl Parks' jock strap around.
Gary, you know what? I said to him, I said, "Are you kidding me, Gary Jeff?" Because I was trying to be nice to the guy. He once worked for me. All he would do is drink all my Jack Daniels at Bulldogs.
That doesn't
and try to sing.
That's not good.
Some guy played a guitar, and Gary Jeff would try to sing. He would be drunk as can be. I'd have to kick him out.
Did you really ever have to kick him out somewhere?
No. But he'd always get drunk and hit on the girls.
That doesn't surprise me.
That great breath. You could see him lean over to a table, and the woman would go, "Oh!"
One time I got him a Christmas present when we were, at the other station. No, toothpaste and a toothbrush and some dental floss. It was the best.
Hey, there's such big gaps in his teeth. He'd need more than dental floss. He'd need dental rope.
That's a good point. That guy has the worst teeth and breath. He would bring in 2 big things of tea, and I swear I'm sure during shows they were filled with liquor. I mean, they were half tea, half Jack Daniels.
I got a great intro to this song. All right, I'm going to take you all the way back to about 1980, 81.
67
summer,
Chevy.
YMCA. A young lady was playing on chicken on my shoulders. Joe Schmiotti and I left the YMCA parking lot, and I was in heaven thinking, my God, I can't believe that she was on my shoulders playing chicken. And Joe Schmiotti looked at me and he said, "That's the closest you're ever going to get to that. She is now my wife." And this song came on the radio. I still remember it. Isn't that a sweet little story? Everybody's out there puking in Bulldog Nation land. I apologize. We'll do better next time. We'll be back for some more Radio Superbity. This is Peter Townsend. Let My Love open the door on Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. New York's getting back in action. They still got a lot of work to do, obviously, a lot of cleanup. But you can't keep New Yorker down. I've entered into a relationship with a television company worked out of Manhattan. And they were out of business there for just one day.
Really?
And even though they personally were out of power and everything at their homes, they were back at Manhattan yesterday going to work. So they said they're hardy New Yorkers. Traffic report, Denise. Give us an update before I get rolling again.
Okay. Well, right now there's an accident blocking 2 lanes, and that's eastbound 74 just west of 275. And I can't see anything on the camera there, so I can't see anything. It's just roads. There's no cars, no movement. So, but that's just right at the intersection of 74 and 275. So it's just east of that. Also, there's an accident at Harrison-Reibold, still dealing with that. State Route 32 at Old Route 74 in Batavia. So, that doesn't make sense to me, but again, that's what's posted here. So right now, traffic is really kind of easing up. You're still a little slow, 71, 75, heading in northbound from still around Dixie on down to the bridge, and looks like it's a little slow here on 471 from right around Southgate into downtown, more or less really around Grand. But the rest of the traffic seems like it's easing up for you out there, so looking a little bit better.
Thank you. You know, one of the things that I did when I moved my law office to Independence, I did it because my kids were going to school out there, and it was like 5 minutes from my house. And it's funny because I saved like 30 minutes each way, so an hour a day driving by having my law office so close to my house. And, of course, I planned to be a little country lawyer. The next thing you know, the jail battle happened. The next thing you know, I got freaking cases and lawyers coming out of my ears. I'm doing radio and everything else. But I'm glad that when I drive in here, there's no traffic. And I'm glad when I drive home, going south at 9 o'clock, there's not any traffic either on 75. But I feel for people that have to go to traffic every day going to work. But you know what? Class X Radio can come along with you.
Yeah, I was going to say, at least they can listen to you.
Make your drive better. I'm going to promote this event just because I want to help him out. An evening with Marty Brenneman. Don't you love that phrase, hors d'oeuvres? Pronounced hors d'oeuvres.
Or hors d'oeuvres. Hors d'oeuvres.
Took me a long time to get that one right. 2 free drink tickets, silent auction, meet and talk with Marty Brenneman and more. It benefits the Family Promise in Northern Kentucky at the Hofbräu House tonight from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., $50, $40 in advance. So Marty Brenham is going to be down at the Hofbräu House tonight if you'd like to go down there and check out old Marty. And by the way, I didn't mean to use the word promote. I meant to give the word information to that charity event. Eurozone unemployment hits new high. In Spain and Greece, more than 1 in 4 people are out of work. That is incredible. 1 in 4. Jeez, Pete. This is a tragic story out of Saudi Arabia. Electric shock wounded 30 and killed 24 after celebratory gunfire, I'll teach you a lesson, at a wedding clipped a power line that landed on a metal door of a house where people were celebrating. Good golly.
It's like the Wild Wild West. They just shoot guns up in the air.
I know.
I mean, what do you expect? Something's going to eventually hit something or somebody.
Someone.
You're talking about an event that's joyous and all of a sudden everybody's dead? Jeez, Pete. But you are right. I watched that documentary about Saddam Hussein's son, Houday. And they do. They're in a bar restaurant. They shoot their pistols in the air. Yeah, we can get along with them. Sure. Think scorpion, think woodchopper. Southeast Asia, heroin production rising. Opium cultivation has more than doubled over the past 6 years as a result of increased heroin demand in China.
Well, that's good. Maybe the price will go down.
Maybe China will just get all heroined up and we can take back over things. I think this is funny. China is losing skilled professionals in record numbers. They're leaving China. You know, Bob, there was a story a little while ago about the filthy rich of China leaving too. You know, you make it and then you leave the stinking place. And you know where they all come to, Garrett? USA. Of course, Barack Obama.
For the good life.
There may not be a USA if you reelect him. Now, how would you like to go through life as a meteorologist named Joe Bastardi?
Bastard.
Jeez, oh, Pete. By the way, I like this guy here. He's Mr. Anti-Climate Warming. He just rocks, baby.
He happens to be talking about Fox News, by the way. You're able to show us. Nobody knows what we're looking at.
They talked about Bill Dees being dead, the co-writer of Pretty Woman. That's a great song.
We should play that instead of Jackson Brown.
You think we should play Pretty Woman, Roy Orbison, instead of Jackson Brown?
Let's see if I got it.
Well, I want to hear Stay. I want to hear Stay.
Is that the right version?
Yeah, and this is a long version. Hey, go ahead and start playing this song. It's a long song, but it's just worth it. When we come back, Radio Superbity. I love this song by Jackson Brown. It's a classic. Enjoy it. Get in a good mood. Go kick some ass today. Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio, wrapping up our show today. Before I do my wrapping up, any final comments from you, Garrett Sablehouse?
I'm all set.
Sablehouse should go to Hofbräu House.
I should. It's a good German establishment. See my old friend Marty B. I got some great stories of Marty back in the old days.
One of the funniest things that I learned from all you producers, which I didn't realize, is that it endears Marty even more to me that off the air, he's a cusser.
Oh.
You occasionally catch him.
Like really bad. And I like that.
Yeah, big time.
My kind of guy.
He's funny, man. You know, one of my best memories of Marty was when they were out in L.A. one night, and it was him and longtime broadcaster for the Dodgers, who am I thinking of? Now I'm blanking.
Vin Scully?
Vin Scully in the booth together.
The only guy better than Marty in calling a baseball game.
Vin Scully. And
Vin Scully, 1 and 1A.
They're in the same booth together. Their mic is on, so I can hear them. Obviously, it's not going over the air. It's just before the game starts or whatever. And, they're going back and forth talking about baseball. And here I am, 3,000 miles away, but listening to Marty and Vin Scully.
Historic.
Nobody else is listening to that except for me,
Right.
so that was pretty cool.
Vin Scully. When he calls some, oh my God. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And he started when he was like a kid.
See, I wonder if, people like around here know about Vin. I wonder how many people outside of this city that aren't really, maybe
Not
just
as many.
casual
Not as
baseball
many.
fans know about Marty.
Not as many.
Yeah.
But besides that, though, Vin Scully called national baseball games. In other words, he called the national game of the week and stuff like that, too.
That's a good point. Yeah, Marty's never really
Including
done anything
television.
national. Right, yeah, that's a good point. One of the other great stories of Marty was we were having a dickens of a time getting connected to St. Louis. It was a game 2 years ago, and could not get connected to the game. It wasn't anything I could do. It was beyond anything I could do. It had to do with the system in St. Louis was bad. Anyway, Marty, I'm the one that has to call Marty, and it's time. The game has started. I've already improvised the entire pregame show. The game finally starts, and I have to call Marty on his cell phone and say, dude, you got to start calling this game on your cell phone. I had to put him on the line like he was a caller.
Right.
And he's like...
Kind of like me?
The words that came out of his mouth.
Kind of like me?
And then I just go, so he gets done just kind of yelling. And I'm like, all right, hold on. And put him on hold. And then thank God God was looking down because 4 pitches into that game, it starts pouring down rain. And they go to rain delay and bring it back to the studio. And luckily, Lance was still there, and it was like, oh, thank you.
You were saved, huh?
Yeah, I remember Mo, good.
I only asked for one comment. You don't got to tell 3 stories, right? Go ahead.
Mo just was talking to his wife that night, and they were listening as they were driving somewhere, and she said, Can you call Garrett? Can you help him? And he's like, this is way above me. It's way above Garrett at this point. He knew there was nothing, that was worst case scenario.
Wow.
Good stories. Saturday Night Live kind of stuff there. What do you got next, Denise? Traffic. Give us our final traffic report.
You know what? There's a few accidents out there, but they're all on little side streets. I do want to mention this, though, because today a portion of Kentucky 19 in Bracken County is going to be dedicated to Sergeant Jeremy Summers, and that's at 1 o'clock. He was 27 years old. He was killed last year in Afghanistan. So they're going to dedicate a portion of that. It'll be Sergeant Jeremy R. Summers Memorial Highway. So that's going to be today at 1 o'clock. I just thought that was kind of a neat thing. And, it's traffic related. It's road related out there. The rest of the roads, looking at them, traffic is looking pretty good. There's an accident at Kenwood Road at Cooper, and then another one, Kellogg, and that's just east of Sutton. You've got an accident there. Back to you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I want to tell you that if you live in Ohio, do anything and everything you can to help elect Mitt Romney and save America. The future of America is in the hands of the Buckeye State. When we come back tomorrow, we'll have some more Radio Superbity. Remember what the dog says. Every dog has their day. I hope today and tomorrow is yours. I love you, Bulldog Nation. I also love Class X Radio. This is George Harrison. Get in a happy mood. Don't run anybody off the road. Go to work and kick some ass on Class X Radio.